Imagine this. You're in a heated argument. Your heart is racing, your fists clench, and before you even think, words come flying out of your mouth, words you'll regret later. Or maybe you're paralyzed by anxiety before a big decision, drowning in self-doubt, unable to take action. Sound familiar? The truth is, most people don't control their emotions control them. Think about it. How many times have you made a decision based purely on emotion, only to regret later? How often have you lashed out in anger, given in to fear, or let sadness drain your energy for days? This is the invisible war inside you. And unless you learn how to master your emotions, they will dictate your choices, shape your destiny, and limit your potential. But here's the good news. Emotional intelligence is a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, developed, and mastered. Psychologists call this emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, control, and channel emotions in a way that serves you instead of sabotaging you. And those who master it, they have an almost superhuman advantage in life. They stay calm in high-pressure situations. They influence people effortlessly. They navigate conflicts with ease. They don't let fear or doubt hold them back. But those who fail to master their emotions, they react instead of respond. They let stress and negativity consume them. They destroy relationships with impulsive decisions. They become victims of their own minds. So here's the question. Do you control your emotions or do your emotions control you? If you want to take control of your mind, your relationships, and your future, you must master your emotions. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how. Let's begin. The science of emotional intelligence, why we feel before we think. Most people believe they are logical creatures, that they make decisions based on facts and reason. But science tells us otherwise. The truth? We feel before we think. Our emotions don't originate in the logical, thinking part of our brain. They come from a much older, deeper part, one that evolved millions of years ago to ensure our survival. Meet the limbic system, the part of your brain responsible for emotions. It's fast, powerful, and completely automatic. When you feel fear, anger, or joy, this is where it comes from. Then there's the prefrontal cortex, the logical, rational part of your brain. It helps you analyze, plan, and control impulses. But here's the problem. It's slower than your emotions. This is why, when someone insults you, you feel a surge of anger before you can stop yourself. Or why, when you see someone you love, you feel happiness before you even think about why. The emotional hijack, when feelings take over. Have you ever said something in anger that you instantly regretted? That's called an emotional hijack. Your limbic system floods your brain with chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline, shutting down your ability to think clearly. In these moments, logic is no longer in control, your emotions are. And here's the real danger. If you don't develop emotional intelligence, you will constantly be at the mercy of these emotional hijacks. You'll make decisions based on fear, anger, jealousy, or insecurity. Decisions that can ruin relationships, destroy opportunities, and leave you trapped in regret. How emotionally intelligent people think differently. The key difference between emotionally intelligent people and those who struggle with emotions is awareness. They recognize emotions before they take control. They pause and choose their response instead of reacting impulsively. They understand the source of their emotions rather than being controlled by them. This is not about suppressing emotions or becoming numb. It's about control. It's about mastering the gap between feeling and reacting. Because in that gap lies your freedom, your power, and your ability to shape your life. And that's exactly what we're going to learn next, how to take back control. Let's dive into the techniques to master your emotions. How to take control of your emotions, the path to emotional mastery. Most people believe emotions are something that just happened to them, random feelings that arise, controlling their actions and decisions. But the truth is, emotions are not in control of you. You are in control of them. The problem: no one ever taught us how to master our emotions. We grow up believing that anger, sadness, frustration, or even joy are things we must simply react to, rather than something we can shape, guide, and direct to serve us instead of harm us. So how do we take control? 1. Name the emotion. Awareness is the first step. Have you ever felt overwhelmed with emotion but didn't even know why? That's because emotions thrive in vagueness. If you don't name what you're feeling, it controls you. But the moment you put a label on your emotion, it loses power. Are you feeling anxious? Or is it just uncertainty about the future? Are you feeling angry? Or is it disappointment wrapped in frustration? Are you feeling sad? Or is it unprocessed grief from something long ago? The more precise you are, the more control you have. Practical exercise. The next time you feel an intense emotion, take a deep breath and say out loud, "Right now, I feel underscore 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 because underscore 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 underscore." This simple exercise stops you from being reactive and forces you to be reflective instead. 2. Question the emotion. Is it based on fact or fiction? Emotions are not reality. They are just interpretations of reality. The problem: many of us base our emotions on assumptions, fears, and past trauma rather than facts. You feel like someone is ignoring you, but is that really true? Or are they just busy? You feel like you're failing, but is that true? Or are you just impatient with your progress? You feel like life is unfair, but is that true? Or are you just focused on what's missing instead of what's working? When we question our emotions, we realize that most of them are exaggerations, distortions, or just outdated beliefs running on autopilot. Practical exercise. The next time you feel a strong emotion, ask yourself, is this feeling based on fact, or is it just my interpretation? 3. Reframe the emotion. Turn weakness into strength. Most people try to suppress their emotions. That doesn't work. Instead, the key is to reframe them, to take a negative emotion and turn it into a superpower. Fear? It's just energy. Instead of avoiding it, channel it into preparation. Anger? It's passion misdirected. Instead of letting it control you, use it to fuel discipline. Sadness? It's a signal. Instead of feeling stuck, use it as a guide to what truly matters to you. Practical exercise. When you feel a difficult emotion, ask yourself, how can I use this feeling to my advantage? 4. Regulate the emotion. The power of self-control. Your ability to regulate emotions is one of the biggest predictors of success in life. Studies show that people who can delay gratification, stay calm under pressure, and manage their emotions make better decisions, have stronger relationships, and achieve more in life. But how do you regulate emotions in the heat of the moment? The 90-second rule, neuroscience, shows that most emotions only last 90 seconds unless you keep feeding them with thoughts. So when you feel an emotion, pause, breathe, and wait. If you don't react immediately, the feeling will often fade on its own. The power of perspective. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week? A month? A year? 90% of the things we get emotional about are insignificant in the long run. Shift your physiology. Your emotions are directly tied to your body. If you change your posture, breathing, or facial expression, your emotional state shifts instantly. Stand tall. Take deep breaths. Move with confidence. The truth about emotional mastery. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean never feeling anything. It means knowing how to understand, process, and channel emotions in a way that makes you stronger, not weaker. Most people live as slaves to their emotions. But the moment you learn to name, question, reframe, and regulate them, you become free. And when you master your emotions, you master your life. Why emotional intelligence matters more than IQ. For decades, society has placed intelligence, IQ, on a pedestal, treating it as the ultimate measure of success. But research has exposed a shocking truth. IQ alone does not guarantee success, happiness, or fulfillment. In fact, studies show that emotional intelligence, EQ, your ability to understand, manage, and use emotions effectively, is a far greater predictor of success in life than raw intelligence. But why? What makes EQ more powerful than IQ? 1. Your emotions shape every decision you make. Most people believe they make logical decisions. But in reality, emotions are always the driving force behind every major life choice. You don't buy a car just because of its specs. You buy it because of how it makes you feel. You don't choose a career just based on income. You choose it because of the fulfillment or pressure attached to it. You don't leave a relationship purely based on logic. You leave because you feel hurt, unappreciated, or disconnected. Your emotions influence every aspect of your life, from the way you spend money to the way you handle conflict. If you don't control them, they control you. 2. The hidden power of emotional self-control. Have you ever sent a text you regretted? Said something in anger that destroyed a relationship? Made a rash decision that cost you big time? That's what happens when emotions control you instead of the other way around. Highly emotional people are impulsive. They overreact, burn bridges, and self-sabotage. Emotionally intelligent people know how to pause, reflect, and respond wisely. This is why self-awareness and self-regulation are two of the biggest predictors of success in relationships, careers, and life in general. Quick test. Next time you feel a strong emotion rising inside you, ask yourself, do I want to respond based on how I feel now, or based on the long-term outcome I want? That one question alone can save friendships, jobs, and opportunities. 3. Emotional intelligence determines success in relationships. No matter how smart or skilled you are, if you lack emotional intelligence, your personal and professional relationships will suffer. Think about it. The best leaders aren't just intelligent, they know how to motivate, inspire, and connect with people. The happiest couples aren't just compatible, they know how to communicate, resolve conflict, and manage emotions. The most successful people aren't just talented, they know how to handle stress, criticism, and failure. IQ may open doors, but EQ is what keeps them open. 4. Emotional intelligence helps you handle failure and rejection. One of the biggest reasons people give up on their dreams is because they don't know how to process failure. They take rejection personally. They let setbacks crush their confidence. They spiral into self-doubt and quit too soon. But emotionally intelligent people see failure differently, not as a dead end, but as a lesson. They ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow stronger? What's the next step I can take instead of dwelling on this? That resilience is what separates people who thrive from those who stay stuck. The bottom line, emotional intelligence is the ultimate life hack. The most successful, fulfilled, and influential people in the world don't just have intelligence, they have emotional mastery. They know how to stay calm under pressure, control impulses, and make wise decisions, communicate in a way that influences people, handle rejection and failure without breaking, manage their emotions instead of being controlled by them. And the best part? Emotional intelligence isn't something you're born with, it's something you can develop. How to master your emotions and build unshakable emotional intelligence. Now that you understand why emotional intelligence, EQ, is so powerful, the next step is learning how to develop it. Here's the truth, emotional intelligence isn't a talent, it's a skill. And just like any skill, it can be trained, strengthened, and mastered. If you want to take full control of your emotions, start with these powerful strategies. 1. Develop self-awareness, the foundation of emotional intelligence. Before you can control your emotions, you need to understand them. Pay attention to triggers. What situations make you anxious, angry, or frustrated? Keep a journal. Write down how you feel in different situations and analyze patterns. Practice mindfulness. Observe your emotions without reacting impulsively. When you start recognizing why you feel a certain way, you gain power over your reactions. 2. Learn to pause before reacting. One of the biggest mistakes people make is reacting instantly to emotions. Someone insults you? You snap back. You feel overwhelmed. You shut down. You're frustrated. You make a bad decision. Emotionally intelligent people pause before responding. They take a deep breath, step back, and choose their response wisely. Try this. Next time you feel a strong emotion rising, ask yourself, if I act on this feeling now, will I regret it later? That single pause can prevent arguments, bad decisions, and unnecessary stress. 3. Reframe negative thoughts. Your emotions are directly controlled by your thoughts. If your mind is filled with negativity, your emotions will reflect it. Instead of I'm a failure, tell yourself, this is a lesson for growth. Instead of everything is going wrong, remind yourself, this is temporary, I will get through it. Instead of I can't handle this, say, I am stronger than I think. Your thoughts create your reality. Master them, and you master your emotions. 4. Train yourself to handle criticism and failure. If you're emotionally weak, every little criticism, rejection, or failure will feel like a personal attack. But strong people use these experiences to grow. Instead of getting defensive, ask, is there truth in this feedback? Instead of taking rejection personally, remind yourself, this isn't about my worth, it's just a redirection. Instead of giving up after failure, ask, what can I learn from this mistake? Emotionally intelligent people don't let fear of failure or negative opinions control them. They keep moving forward. 5. Strengthen your emotional resilience. Life will always throw challenges, setbacks, and disappointments at you. But emotional intelligence helps you stay strong no matter what happens. The secret? Stop dwelling on problems, focus on solutions. Let go of what you can't control, shift your energy to what you can. Surround yourself with positive, emotionally mature people. The more you train your mindset and emotional responses, the stronger and more unshakable you become. The final takeaway, emotional mastery, is the ultimate superpower. Imagine a version of yourself who stays calm in stressful situations, controls impulses and makes better decisions, handles criticism and failure without breaking, builds strong relationships with deep emotional understanding, never lets fear or negative emotions dictate their life. That version of you is possible, and it all starts with training emotional intelligence. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you reframe a negative thought, every time you handle stress without breaking down, you are rewiring your brain for emotional mastery. And the best part, most people never learn this skill, so once you master it, you'll have an edge in every area of life. Mastering your emotions, the key to an unstoppable life. At this point, you've seen how emotions can shape your reality. The question is, will you control them or will they control you? Most people let their emotions run their lives. They react impulsively, let fear dictate their choices, and get trapped in cycles of anger, stress, and anxiety. But you don't have to be like most people. You can break free. The road to emotional mastery. Mastering your emotions isn't about suppressing them. It's about understanding, managing, and channeling them for your benefit. Here's what you need to remember. Self-awareness is power. The better you understand your emotions, the easier they are to control. Your reactions shape your reality. Every time you pause and choose your response, you reclaim control over your life. Negative thoughts are a trap. Reframe them, challenge them, and refuse to let them define you. Failure and criticism are stepping stones. Emotionally intelligent people use setbacks as fuel for growth. Resilience is built, not born. Train yourself to handle stress, rejection, and uncertainty with strength and grace. The ultimate payoff of emotional intelligence. Imagine waking up every day with unshakable confidence. Imagine being able to stay calm in any situation. Imagine having the ability to handle conflicts, criticism, and setbacks without losing control. This is what emotional intelligence gives you. It makes you stronger, wiser, and more successful, not just in your personal life, but in every area, from relationships to career to overall happiness. Emotions don't have to be your weakness. They can be your greatest strength, but only if you train them. Now you have two choices. You can walk away from this video, do nothing, and stay trapped in old emotional patterns. Or you can start applying these principles today and take full control of your life. Here's the truth. Most people never master their emotions. They let stress, fear, and negativity control them. They react instead of respond. They stay stuck. But that doesn't have to be you. If you've made it this far, it means you're different. You're ready to level up. You're ready to stop letting emotions control you and start using them to your advantage. So here's your challenge. Hit like if this video made you think differently. Hit subscribe if you're ready to take control of your mind. Turn on notifications because in the next video, we'll dive even deeper, unpacking high-level emotional intelligence techniques that will make you unstoppable.